Every golfer that I speak to tells me that they want to hit the driver straighter. So in this video today, I'm going to be showing you 3 of the most important ways on how you can hit your driver straighter up that fairway. Before we get started, if you want to get better at golf and you haven't already hit subscribe, then what are you waiting for? It takes a second to do, hit that button. It means you'll never miss another video like this. You're going to get better at golf and you'll be helping the channel out massively. So hit subscribe and let's get you hitting the ball straighter. So the first thing that we need to look at when it comes to the driver and hitting it straighter is where we hit the ball out of the club face. So ideally we want a centered strike. Now I think this gets overlooked and a lot of golfers don't understand where they're hitting it out the club face. But in actual fact, this plays a huge role in the direction that the ball travels. If you're hitting the ball out the heel or out the toe, then this is going to cause the ball to curve left or right without even considering the swing. So making sure we're hitting it out the centre of the sweet spot, ideally with the driver it's a little bit higher on the face, that's when we're going to see straighter shots. Now there's a couple of ways that we can check this, either using something like face tape to pop on the driver or using athlete's foot spray or a little bit of dry shampoo. So let's use the spray and I'm going to show you how you can most effectively use this to get the ball going straighter. So spray this on the club face. It'll take about a minute to develop. You'll see it goes nice and white. Give that a minute and it'll cover the whole of the club face. Now, if you've got the benefit of using a launch monitor like Rapsodo, then you won't have to do this style of stuff because you can track that data already on Rapsodo. But if you haven't, then these are the most efficient ways that you can check where you're hitting the ball out of the club face to again get the most efficient strike and get you hitting it nice and straight. So now you can see that's developed. It is raining, so it's making a few little spots on the club face. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hit around about 5 balls to make sure I get a really good reading. As soon as I hit the ball, you'll see there'll be an indentation and there'll be a mark on the club face. Whether it's out the centre, the heel or the toe, I'm going to hit 5 balls. Hopefully there's going to be almost like a repeated pattern on where I'm hitting it out of. So I'm going to get straight into it, hitting those 5 balls. So as you can see, that came out the bottom of the club face. Now I want to make this appear more around about here. So I'm going to try and go further up the club head and I'm going to try and go more out the centre. Let's give it another go. Okay, so that felt a lot better. Okay, so as you can see, that's a lot more now towards the centre. Okay, so once you've hit your 5 shots, you'll be in 2 categories. Either one, you'll find that you've got a mixture of shots on the club face. You can't actually pinpoint where you're hitting it out of consistently because you've got one out the toe, out the heel, out the top, out of the centre. And that's fine. It just means that we need to improve on our consistency with our strikes. Then hopefully, if not, you will have a pattern in the same place. So you may have all your shots in the toe, all your shots out the heel, okay? And that's a good gauge on whereabouts on the club face you're hitting it, and we just need to control that to get it more out of the centre. Now, here's a drill that you can use whether you are the person who's got a variety of different marks on the face, or whether you're hitting it out the heel or the toe. So let's get into that. Okay, so just grab yourself a tee, and if you're someone that hits it out of the heel, so if you're hitting it out of this part of the club, then pop the tee in front like so. Take your swing and you really want to focus hitting it more towards the toe. So if you're used to hitting it out the heel, focusing now on hitting it out the toe is what's going to bring it more towards the centre. Okay, so take a few practice swings, avoiding the tee, and it's going to help you hit it more towards the centre. The opposite, if you're someone that hits it out the toe, pop the tee on this side, and we really want to focus hitting it out of the heel. Again, that's going to take the strikes from here to drawing it back into centre. Okay, let's give that a go. So hitting it more out of the centre is not only going to allow you to hit the ball straighter, but further as well, because you're going to get the most out of the club and you're going to have the most efficient strike. Okay, so that takes us to step number 2. And it's all about the club face, which direction the club face is pointing in at impact. Now, this is a huge role to be played in how straight the ball's going to fly. If your club face is open at impact, pointing to the right, then the ball's going to travel to the right. If your club face is closed, pointing left, then the ball's going to go left. What we're going to speak about in step 3 is all about the swing path and how that affects the curvature of the ball. But for now, we're talking about the direction of the club face. And if it's open or closed, then it's going to go straight in that direction. So controlling the club face at impact is what's going to straighten up the shots. Okay, so ideally we want the club to be square at impact. Like we've just mentioned, if the club is open or closed, then that's when you're going to see the ball going either straight right or straight left. Now, having it open or closed is affected by 2 key things. Number 1 being the grip, so whether you've got a weak, strong or neutral grip, and your body alignment. So let's dive straight into the grip. Now, I've spoke deeply about the grip in previous videos, but for now, I just want to show you how having a weak grip, so having our hands wrap round to the left, is going to open our club face, putting it off to the right. So I'll show you that from down the line. We go from having a square club face, we wrap it round to the left, straight away our club face is open, point to the right. However, now if you've got a strong grip, your hands wrap round to the right like this, it's going to close the club face down, pointing it left. So before we've even made a swing, we're going to be hitting it offline. Instead, we ideally want a neutral grip. The best way to gauge this is taking our lead hand, popping it on the club so that it runs through our fingers. So from the top of our pinky through our index finger, like so. We're then going to wrap it round so that we can see 2.5 to 3 knuckles. We're then going to take our trail hand again, run it from the top of our pinky down to our index, through the fingers, and wrap the hand round so that this gap in between our thumb and our index finger points up to our trail shoulder, like so. There's 3 different styles of grip from behind. So we've got baseball, overlap, and interlock. A baseball is for someone who may have small hands, sore hands, struggle with arthritis, and they can't grip too tight or they can't reach round, go with a baseball grip. Personally, I use an overlap. My trail hand just sits comfortably over my lead hand like so. If you are wanting that extra security, then you can lock these 2 in. This is called an interlock. So you're locking the index finger on the lead hand and the pinky and our trail hand together. And now the body alignment. So you may set up to the ball with a great grip, but you go and set your feet down first, then the club head, and just look, you think your club head's square towards your target, but what you've done is you've set everything off. You've made it super hard for yourself that the club's pointing in one direction, your feet are pointing in the other. The best way of doing this, and you'll have heard me speaking about this before, is getting your target, picking an immediate target just in front of the ball, something that's also on line with the end target. So end target, draw it back to maybe a leaf, a little grain of grass, a little dot of mud. Then from there, set the club to that immediate target, which essentially is going to aim you to the target in the distance. We're then going to set our feet and our body parallel to the club. Okay? So not only is the club face square, but the body is also aiming exactly where it should be. This is going to help you with the club face direction, but also with the swing path, which we're going to get into next. So neutralising the grip, correct body alignment is what's going to allow us to have a square club face at impact. So again, as we come through to the ball, we want that club face pointing straight towards our target, and we're going to be hitting it nicely out the centre of the club. Let's give it a go. And now third and final point to getting us hitting our driver nice and straight is the swing path. So we've mastered the sweet spot, we've squared the club face up at impact, and now the swing path. Now, what's the importance of swing path? Swing path, ideally, we're wanting to have the club working on almost like a 45-degree angle. A lot of golfers work out to in. That's what we call working over the top. If you're a slicer, you'll have that move for sure. And if you're a golfer that hooks the ball, you'll work the club too much on the inside. So in to out, you're going to send it way left. So with that swing path, if we're swinging over the top or two from the inside, that's okay if the club face is square. It's going to just go straight in that direction. However, if our club face is open or close, that's when we're going to have curvature. So the slice, as we've just mentioned, comes from an over top move, but with the club face open. However, if you hook the ball, then you'll see you're working too far from the inside with a closed club face. So ideally, we're swinging what we like to think on our natural arc. If you're working in or out, then you're going to cause some overworking and you're going to be hitting it offline. So the best drill, you'll see me doing this a lot, and it's getting yourself two head covers or anything that's going to act as a barrier. Pop the head cover either side of the ball like so. The aim of this drill is to swing through the head covers, avoiding them both. Now, if you're someone that slices the ball, works over the top, then you're most likely going to hit that head cover, okay? If you're someone that hooks the ball, works the club too far on the inside, then you're going to hit this head cover. So if you slice the golf ball, we'll only need the head cover out in front. Again, the aim is to miss the head cover, which is going to allow you to swing more on the inside. Let's give it a go. Really nice, okay? And the opposite, if you're someone that hooks the ball, we're going to pop the head cover on the opposite side. This is going to really encourage you to swing more this way rather than too much on the inside. And that's just going to balance the swing path out. It's going to allow you to swing nice and straight through. It's going to encourage the club face to be square at impact. And with that centered strike, you're going to be hitting it so straight every time. So let's run through that nice and quickly. First off, we're talking about centered strike. So we're taking our strike from out the toe, out the heel, to now more out of the center. As we mentioned for driver, it's around about here, okay? So it's just above the center mark. And then we were speaking about club face. Ideally want this club face to be square at impact. So that's where we looked at our grip, making sure our grip wasn't too strong or weak. We've neutralized the grip. We've squared up the body alignment, and then we spoke about the swing path. So the swing path with an open club face or a closed club face is what causes the curvature. So if we can square the swing path, if we can swing more along the correct swing plane with square club face and a centered strike, that's when we're going to be hitting it super straight. We're going to have so much confidence, and you're going to enjoy hitting your driver rather than worrying about it going way left or way right. You're going to be super impressed with yourself. And that's the three most important ways and things to check and make sure you're doing to get you hitting your driver nice and straight. Again, not only is this going to feel good, but it's going to give you so much confidence, and you're going to enjoy hitting your driver again. You'll get rid of the first T nerves. You'll actually find yourself hitting it further as well. Now, if you've taken value from this lesson today, then I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. Not only will you be helping me out, but you'll also get better at golf, so everyone wins. There's so many more amazing videos coming your way, so don't miss out, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one.